Hey all, this is 01 Tuboku
Lord Jackass of the Legion of Super Jackassery.
and we're coming at you now with the extended review of Legion of Superheroes. Finally finishing the first disc and our first season, depending on how you look at it, of the show. And it is episode 7, 8, Lightning Storm. I didn't write the 8 down. That last one was Child's Place, episode 8, Lightning Storm. And I gave my thoughts in the short review, Jhericks, so go ahead and give yours now for what you thought of this episode.
Oh, lots of fun stuff. Yeah, we kind of meet the anti-Legion here. I kind of what was it? Something like the Lightspeed Vanguard.
It was the Lightning Speed Force or something like that. It was.
Yeah.
I couldn't get it right either because I couldn't remember it. And like I should have wrote it down. So Lightning Speed Force, at least that's what I've been saying.
Yeah, let's just say these guys are the Turn X of your villain team. If anybody remembers the old Double X Gundam series, lots of dumb shit in that one. And guess what? Lightning Lance Brothers involved in this, so yay! We get to see where the turn of the emo. They have basically like a team that's like the Legion, but they're all jerkbags, assholes, mercenaries, private military corporation. And of course, what's his name? Metz is in charge.
Mectrons.
Mech. Yeah, that could only be a good thing. Am I right? One of them, a guy called Tyr, he's the guy who's got like the red skin, the giant freaking purple mohawk.
Yeah.
He's kind of an interesting one because, I mean, just like the Tyr of Norse mythology, he's missing his right hand and he's had it replaced with like one of those, interchangeable weapon systems. They kind of did the same thing with Yondu and Guardians of the Galaxy in the late 90s. Got his hand cut off Aquaman style, so he replaced it with one of those little multi-weapon things on his for his stub. Yeah, he kind of did the same thing. Plus, he's voiced by Cyborg.
Carrie Payton,
best boy ever.
Mm-hmm.
And he's basically kind of how should I put it? He's kind of like the Cyclops of the group. He's not in charge, but he's basically like the field commander.
Yeah, I would say that I think Tyr was second in command.
Or heck, you could call him the Duke. Technically not the guy in charge, but out on the mission, you listen to him. Then you got the girl, Esper, who's basically kind of like our evil Saturn girl. Also from Titan, because, if you know the Legion lore, everybody from Titan is pretty much psychic. So she's our evil Saturn girl. Dark hair, and she has an outfit that looks eerily similar to the superhero Isis from the live-action 1975 TV show DC did. They did a lot of really bad live-action superhero shows. Shazam had a live-action show. Isis was part of that. The Linda Carter Wonder Woman, including the weird version where she had no powers and she was kind of like a female James Bond for like a whole season. Yeah, it's really stupid. Long explanation. All you need to know is that the Incredible Hulk show from the 70s was the only one worth watching.
Yeah.
And basically she looks exactly like Isis. She's kind of like Saturn Girl, except slightly edgier and a bit of a B to it, but not quite as much as the rest of the team. We find out Bouncy Boy's got that Captain Kirk in him. Yeah, he snagged Best Girl Triplicate Girl. She knows what's up.
Yeah, because of his flying skills and trying to face the Lightning Speed Force. They were like using they had the best ship because they had the money to buy it, but Bouncy Boy showed off his skills in this episode.
Well, and
as pilot.
Again, it goes back to the Captain Kirk analogy. Objectively speaking, the Klingon Bird of Prey is a much better ship than anything the Federation ever did. Didn't stop Captain Kirk from slaughtering Klingons right and left. Let's just say, let's split the dogs of war. Fuck you, bitch. I'm Kirk. Take this.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it again shows why Bouncing Boy is such an integral part of the team. Yeah, you could say his bouncing gimmick is kind of stupid, but just like Puck from Alpha Flight, it's not the power that makes him special. It's that heart and that mind of his. Yeah, Brainiac gives it all the cool, fun little toys, but you got to have a pilot who knows how to make the best use of them and really put the ship through its paces. Again, it's kind of kind of the reason. You got the engineers, you got the ground mechanics, and then you got the crazy jackass who actually has to fly the damn thing against enemy pilots with better ships. It's the reason why they keep letting Maverick on the team. Is he a jerk? Yes. Is he good at what he does? Yes. Just ask your girlfriend. Then you got and also Tyr. Now technically he's not a member of the same species. Otherwise, he probably would have beat the shit out of the Legion by himself. But he has a very similar look to the Justice League villain Despero. If any of you played the really shitty '90s fighting game Justice League Task Force, he's the guy who's got like the giant starfish mohawk. He's got like the psychic abilities. He originally started out as a bit of a psychic manipulator. Then they kind of turned him into like a war profiteer, a gun runner. Basically, think like the God, what was the name of that guy? The guy Nicolas Cage played in that one movie, the Merchant of War, or whatever. Think that, but with psychic powers and an entire army.
Lord of War.
Lord of War. Yeah, he's basically just an intergalactic arms smuggler, douchebag, gets into slap fights with the Justice League all the time. He's basically what Thanos used to be before he started becoming obsessed with like the Infinity Stones and the Cosmic Cube. And he is also kind of in charge of giving the people the bill for the rescue. There's the sibling rivalry, of course, between Necht and Garth. Necht is more powerful, and you kind of see that. He's got the darker lightning. He's got the darker toned uniform. Garth, on the other hand, is the one who isn't the complete and utter shitter. And we actually see Necht again, be like, I'll let you go this time, little bro. But next time, I'll show you who really got all the power from that Thunder Beast. We also get a very brief glimpse of their sister, who, if I remember the comics, was a very big deal. Also, it's kind of funny, Lightning Lad or Lightning Lord. Yeah, every time these people go evil, it seems like they get called Lord. I don't know why, it just seems to be a thing. And then there's, Wave. That's the girl with, like, the long blue hair. She's basically the Medusa from Marvel's Inhumans. Except kind of hotter, because, like, the only really interesting Medusa was from the Marvel Mangaverse. Which, if you haven't read Marvel Mangaverse, read the Mangaverse.
Yeah, I would say so.
The weird thing, though, is she's actually human, and she lives on Titan, even though she was born on Earth. So I have to ask this question in all seriousness. I mean, 3 of the hottest girls we've seen thus far are all from the exact same moon orbiting Jupiter. Hollow Council much? Yeah, Oro Crony wants to know where her lesbian girlfriends be at. Giggity, giggity. But hey, best Australian girl ever. We miss you, Sana. And then again, there's also the weird thing that I kind of wonder if Necht's outfit was sort of a darker, if it was inspired by a character from the Crisis on Infinite Earths graphic novel in the 80s, Lord Volt. If any of you have seen, like, there's a lady who's got like a really short cropped white hair, and her like suit looks like a constant nuclear fire all over her body. I forget what her name is, but basically she was from one of the multiverses that got wiped out. Pariah, basically, he's there to carry out the terms of his parole by witnessing the destruction of another world. But for the first time ever, he's like, you know what? I'm going to try and see if I can save someone. So he basically grabs her. Well, she was married to basically the guy who was like the man who ruled the world. He was like the superhero. His family basically ruled the world because they were always saving it. They had a daughter who could like manipulate plants and make them grow instantly. He had lightning powers. He was called Lord Volt. Well, of course, he gets wiped out. She lives, and she spends the rest of the crisis basically beating the crap out of Pariah whenever she gets a chance. And then later kind of works with him in Harbinger after the crisis is over. By the way, the animated movie is horseshit. Don't even watch that. Read the comics, way better. But yeah, this was a very interesting scene. We actually see Garth kind of question whether he wants to stay with the League. Kind of getting that peer pressure. Oh, you're still hanging out with those children? It's like, why don't you move on up to the big boys? And you can tell Garth is definitely, kind of feeling the burn. He's getting overshadowed by Superman. we know he's got issues with Cosmic Boy for always overshadowing him, and you can see he's got insecurities, really, really bad ones, which are probably going to get worse in the next season, by the way. But overall, you also see that he's a good person. He's trying to get these people to act more like heroes. He basically quits when they see what absolute douchebags they are, and frankly, he kind of learns his lesson.
Well, remember, Superman, says, he tells Superman, I guess I'm back on the team, and Superman goes, as far as I'm concerned, Lightning Lad, you never left.
And it's true, too, because he never did, put in his formal resignation. So, again, just kind of shows why, you can get jealous with someone, but, they can still be cool afterwards.
Yeah, well, and we were saying, too, even though he had that thing with Phantom Girl at the end, saying, Phantom Girl, I know, like, it's this and what you went through with your family was hard and whatnot. And Lightning Lad tells her that, that she never read his mind or knew anything, but she knows a thing or two about what he's going through.
Yeah.
And that he cares and he has his problems. And even though he says, hey, it's no sweat, I at least have you guys as a family, you could tell that there's some sort of longing there for his actual family, because again, there's obviously been this sibling rivalry for who knows however long with the people involved. And like I mentioned to Jhericks, and I think I mentioned in my short review, is that again, Metrons could have spared Lightning Lad for maybe just for fun, but at the same time, is there anything there that keeps those two together? I think there is. I've not looked into what happens in the show or if we really see him again, because like I said, it's around this time that I think within the next few episodes that the original DVDs I had ended. But hey.
This might just be speculation on my part, but if the incident that gave them their lightning powers is similar to how it happened in the comic books, there's a good chance he does feel a little bit of guilt, because he did get more of the blast of the lightning from that beast that they got zapped by on their planet. But Garth did suffer some shit that none of the other siblings went through during that incident, and I'm sure Mech still remembers that, and he's probably pretty resentful. He's the older brother. I'm supposed to be the strong one. I'm supposed to be in charge. Why the heck is this little dingus saving my ass?
Well, again, they didn't really go over it. I mean, they mentioned it a little bit from last time from what he did, but you could see where, again, if you guys remember the last episode with the games, Mechrons was always jealous of being in the shadow of his little brother, where usually it's the other way around, but it's like that. But again, who knows? I mean, he could be doing this to stand out too, and just to be like, well, it's not them being the hero. It's better to be the jerkish villain or whatnot. But again, I think there's more to it. Again, I could be wrong and looking way too into things, but hey.
You know what's funny about that?
What?
It's kind of the Cain and Abel situation all over again.
Well, yeah.
The little brother overshadowing the big brother, and he goes down a darker path.
Well, yeah, and it's probably the characters are based off that from more likely from what we know. But yeah, hey, it is what it is.
Plus, when you add in the fact that they both got lightning powers, and God's favorite form of judgment just happens to be the Holy Thunder, kind of similar to Zeus too, it kind of really reinforces the fact that there was a lot more going on in the writing and editorial rooms back in the day than people gave him credit for.
Yeah.
And again, there's just a lot of fun little moments in this, seeing that Triplicate Girl has her usual cheerful, playful personality, and I just love how the schizophrenia, shares the different personality aspects between all three of them, and knowing she's going to be, keeping herself open for Mr. Bouncing Boy is way past cool for me, because he's actually a pretty cool guy. You get way more of Bouncing Boy and just what he can really do in the comics. It's one of those weird things, you just look at him and you're like, what the heck is this guy going to do? You really just don't find out until you get on the wrong side of him and his friends. And again, we're going to get a lot of interesting development. I'm not going to say, but Lightning Lad is going to go through some very serious trials in the next 2 seasons. And if you know the comic books, especially anywhere between like 85 and around 92, there's a good chance where it's going to be headed. What's his name? Brainiac 5 is going to have a really baller showdown in season 3. We're going to get one of our favorite members of the House of L down the road, but hey, spoiler warnings for a later time. there's going to be a lot of fun stuff coming down in the next 2 seasons, and this kind of sets up some of the more interesting things you're going to see because, again, we've had this not Justice League. We know the Legion's active, but we still haven't really had any interactions like the Green Lantern Corps or any of the other, groups that propagate the 31st century. So who knows? Maybe you'll get a chance to see a certain green-clad Vision of Beauty down the road. God, I hope. Oh, and can't believe I forgot to put this down in the notes. We actually get a cameo from a character that was in the comics. Her name's Infectious Lass. She's kind of like this bug-looking girl. She kind of has sort of this, how should I put this, Grateful Dead after 20 marijuana brownies personality. She seems kind of detached from everything, but she's a little smarter than she looks. Her weird ability, though, is she can basically create and infect anything and mutate any virus she knows about or can think of. Like, try to imagine you had a superpower that basically lets you take E. coli and Ebola and just fuse that shit together and manipulate it any way you want. That's her in a nutshell. And the comics actually had a way better thing for her. Like, you see her for a very small amount of time in the last episode and maybe this one, but she's an absolutely hilarious and interesting character because in the comics, they have like a bounty hunter group hunting down the Legion. They have like a prison area specifically catered to all their superpowers. And just for no damn reason, she creates a virus that switches all their powers around. Like Superman gets, what was it? He gets Saturn Girl's powers. Saturn Girl gets Superboy's powers. Phantom Girl gets Timberwolf's abilities. Timberwolf gets Phantom Girl's. Lightning Lad and Bouncy Boy switch their powers out. And it's actually pretty interesting. It also kind of really emphasizes the idea that we might be seeing Timber Ghost or Ghost Wolf down the future for you shippers. And honestly, if they do go that route, let's just say it's a very cute and adorable relationship. Seriously, if he becomes Phantom Girl's pet, I approve. But yeah, so, if there's any of you shippers out there, you're going to have a lot to work with. Saturn Girl X Lightning Lad, Triplicate Girl and Bouncing Boy, Timberwolf, Phantom Girl's mom and that one dude. And hey, who knows? We might even see Superboy actually get a little bit, Superman, sorry, get a little love down the road because, hey, he's a Superman.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, it's, also kind of weird that this was one episode where we get no Brainiac 5, which honestly I kind of miss.
Yeah, well, he was what's his name? The breath boy or whatever his name was, the one who held his breath that they left there. Is he just standing there? But oh well, poor kid. Hey, at least we know he can hold his breath a very long time. Who knew?
Well,
with his cheeks all popped out.
Maybe somebody accidentally uploaded Windows 11 to his OS.
Maybe, you never know. Well, and then I guess that will lead into characters. I did give mine a little bit, but I will basically say that again. I'll stick with it. Oh yeah, it's this one down here. I definitely have to give it to again. Andy Milder is Lightning Lad. He, as you guys knew, I thought he was really great in this episode. Again, where is he here? Oh yeah, James Arnold Taylor, Mectrons, and he also voiced Porcupine Pete, and especially for Mectrons, he was great as the main villain in this one. You could say, and basically just showing how he's just taking a turn for the worst, and just also lording it over his power over his brother, and saying how he got the best, and how, oh, I'm sparing you because I like it when you owe me one, and just flaunting it over him. And of course, it was fun as Porcupine Pete. It was a short role, but it was very fun. And then I gave it to Carrie Payton as Tyr, just a no-nonsense, just tough guy with a very freaky quality to him who acts like such a jerk. He played it off so well in this role as that type of guy. Oh, and he was also the hunter, too, the guy with the big axe in this one, too, who was taking out beasts. He was also the hunter. And, so great role for him too, but especially for Tyr, because like this teenager guy in his 20s just like saying, "Oh yeah, we don't do this for free. People pay us, or else we're gonna do things to them."
Well, and again, it reminds me of when he was what was it? Was it the King of Hearts or in the Royal Flush Gang?
Oh, yeah, well, he was, or no, King of Hearts. I think was Robin as
Ah,
Scott Menville. I think he was. Oh, I think he was Ace.
that's right.
Or no,
Yeah,
not Ace. Ace was the girl. Jack. He was Jack.
yeah, because it kind of reminded me of that performance.
Well, very similar to it because it's funny how most of that cast goes on to being the Teen Titans.
Yeah, total coincidence.
But yeah, I'm sure. hey, hey. But yeah, how about you, Jarek?
Again, I forgot to mention that Hunter asshole because if any of you are big Green Lantern fans, he's going to look very similar to an enemy type known as the Weaponers Accord. You know, the assholes who built the Sinestro rings originally. Yeah, he's got like the bola net. He's got like the lance. Yeah, all he needs is like a Roman Praetorian Guard outfit clad in gold, and he would pretty much be a Cord from Weaponer. But a Weaponer from Cord. But anyways, yeah, I kind of have to give it up to Cyborg because again, he was one of the best things about Teen Titans. He's great in this one. He was wonderful as a member of the Royal Flush Gang. And yes, he was the only good thing about one of the only good episodes of Teen Titans Go.
Yeah.
Just getting that off my chest,
Well, again, the fact they got all the original cast back for that crap still staggers me, but oh well.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, if they didn't want it to go down a terrible road and just did it for the sake of giving the fans something, power to them. But I mean, everybody knows that Scott Menville, Greg Sipes, Carrie Payton, and Tara Strong, and Hynden Walk can all do better.
Well, I blame Trigon. I think this is his fault. I think we can safely say that. But yeah, again, like Boku said, Garth and Necht stealing the show because their performances are straight up thunder.
Well, again, who doesn't like you said it earlier, who doesn't like the brother rivalry? That's a story as old as time itself.
And, I actually kind of, as little as her part was, Esper was really good because you can tell she's a bit edgier than Saturn Girl, but she's still got a bit of a softer side than the others.
I did bring that up in the short review too, so I like how you mentioned that as well with Esper and giving her some love to it as well. So very nice.
Yep, trading out the shape shifting for mind powers.
And I think well, let's see. Tara Strong was Esper since you brought her up. Tara Strong, basically, we were just mentioning Teen Titans. Another member of Teen Titans right there because that's Raven.
Yep.
Who does the voice of Raven is Tara Strong. And I'm going to say maybe she got married to someone called Strong because I know in the third season of Batman, she's Tara Scherendorf. And every time I see the special features, which not to go off on a tangent here, but I just recently watched and finished Batman the Animated Series, all 3 seasons again, and the movies. For the most part, there's still Legacy of Batwoman, but that's not in the collection. I had to buy that on my own. But sorry, again, another tangent within the tangent. But I found out that was Tara Strong again. I'm like, oh yeah, but why is she called? Unless that was before she got married and married someone named Strong. Unless Scherendorf is a pen name, because actors in the 90s were still doing pen names a lot. Maybe she didn't want anyone to know what her real last name was. But yeah, I don't know. I've not looked into it. So hey, but Tara Scherendorf, Tara Strong, but no. Also Batgirl as well. So hey, for all the fans who know the DC stuff, sort of like me and Jhericks, because uber fans of DC. And again, we have some Marvel stuff. We probably will review it. And, not just the movies, obviously, but we'll do the good movies. We'll probably do some of the ones I have in the collection too. If we want to find and buy the shit. We're gonna buy the shit and review it, and probably lambast his house. So please don't look for any positivity. Well, probably some positivity, but mostly not, because guys, if you support the new stuff, no faults or anything. Hey, you like what you like, but I can't support what they've done. Even the new stuff for DC. Oh God.
Well, God. It's like being a Gundam fan. You can like 0083 if you want. Everybody's entitled to be wrong. That's your right as an American citizen. But it's shit. You're shit. Nina's shit. And if you say there's anything good about that series other than the fight solace, the GPO 2 and 3, you're fucking wrong, and I'm going to find you.
Yeah, well, there you go. Hey, we all have our opinions. But basically, that is the episode. And I'm sorry for the tangents we had there. But what did you guys think? Again, if you guys even seen this show, because I'll make a mention of it really quick. If you haven't, I don't blame you, which is why I can understand the bit of low reviews, because I've been finding actually since I've probably been getting stuff since we've been doing these. I've gotten a few videos of people now saying how this is DC's forgotten cartoon series that nobody knows. There's at least been 3 videos that have shown up in my feed about talking about how this is a forgotten cartoon, and I'm like, I could tell too because I actually found this on Amazon. I did not know that this like that, so I got the recommendation of the DVDs. And again, personally, so far from what I've seen. And from what I also remember, because it's been a while since I've seen this, and I never saw all 3 seasons, because, I mean, this is the only complete series they made of it, and at least in the Blu-ray. I don't think they even finished it on the DVDs.
Oh.
But what?
I just remembered. What was the name of that shapeshifter guy on the light, whatever the bad team was?
Light Speed Force. Oh, that was,
I forget his name.
What's his name? He's here too. I think it's that was also the same voice who did Timberwolf, Sean Harrison Carr.
Yeah, mild spoiler warning, but you're not going to see. This is not the last you will see.
Ron Carr, not Carr. Ron Carr.
Yeah, this isn't the last you're going to see of him. He's coming back, but we're just going to wait and see if anybody recognizes him down the road.
Yeah, and hey, spoilers. I don't know what he's talking about, but hey, but
you'll find out.
But yeah, just leave us a comment down below, guys. Just let us know what you think, and we'll get back to you again. I'm gonna say, let's see. Well, yeah, since we finished the disc of discs, because like I say, when we finish a disc, we move on to the next thing. So to tell you guys, since we did this, it'll probably be, we'll probably try to fit in a movie sometime soon. I mean, obviously, as you know, we're going to continue our anime back and forth as we've always done. But it'll be, and I know you guys have wanted this because it has been forever since we did, 24 this, so yeah, we'll finally be back to Twin Peaks. It's Twin Peaks, the Crime of Crab, and then we'll finally be back to 24. I know it's been forever, but thank you for bearing with us on these. I mean, some of you have watched, some of you keep watching, even though they're small views.
Which we appreciate.
Well, that's what I was about to say. I appreciate it. However, if you get a lot of views, cool. If only a few of you watch, hey, for you guys, for the 75 we still have with us, I've appreciated you guys. So, just thank you for your patience because, and I'll mention it really quick because I don't know if I mentioned it in the last review, but there's been some financial difficulties with me, and me and Jhericks, we always try to get out and do things with people and maybe try to go places and have fun. Probably not going to happen as much, so you may see, hopefully the goal is to upload at least something once a week, maybe twice a week, but I make
Fingers crossed.
I made no promises, but that's the final thing I wanted to know. If I didn't mention it, just stuff's gotten a little tougher, so there's probably going to be a lot more time at home. Not that, there's going to be tons of this, but I'm just saying you'll probably get a little more possibly. So, hey, well, like Jhericks said, fingers crossed. But, we'll see you guys later, all right? See ya.
Deuces.
Yes.